Hello and welcome to the season opener of Season 9 of the Apex Racing League GT3 Trophy. We are going to be broadcasting all 9 rounds of this championship upcoming on Apex Racing TV. Myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, and David Sampson bringing you the action here from the ARTV esports studio. And tonight, just a few days before Daytona 24 hours, we've got an extended 75-minute event for our 60 drivers to tackle at Daytona. And David, this will be a big challenge for the drivers and a big challenge across the season. We've got a fair few rounds to tackle this season. It's going to take us all the way into April, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yep, lots of Daytona. We've had the sprint, we've had
3
the
times in a row we've been here.
Yes, we've had the Raw, we've got the 24 on the weekend, and yeah, now round 1 of the GT Trophy. It's going to be tough, 75 minutes, limited fuel. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for tyres, saving, fuel. It's going to be, it's going to be exciting. And obviously single class, 3 classes, Pro, Pro-Am and Am, but they're free to fight, and the further forward an Am finishes, the more points he gets.
Absolutely, it is a bumper field. Really pleased with the sign-ups for this season. We had the sign-ups fill out, I think, in 7 days, or 60 entries. So really fantastic to see the enthusiasm that everyone has about this series, and it's no surprise in some of the most experienced cars in all of sim racing. Let's have a look at the calendar then that we've got for this championship, and of course we are starting off at Daytona before heading to Suzuka, Road Atlanta, Hockenheim Spa, Donington, Long Beach, and then Imola. I believe Long Beach will be the first time that we've been to that circuit in ARL GT3 Trophy. That's one that stands out for me. Any that stand out to you?
I mean, Road Atlanta and Imola. Obviously, I could name the Spa, but Road Atlanta's going to be a demanding track with this many cars, single class, 57, 58, 60 cars. It's going to be epic. Imola, I think, is a fantastic track, and we've had some fantastic racing here last season.
I think so. Yeah, we've had it the last few seasons. I think Imola, it's very much a regular.
Yeah, and Hockenheim, personal favourite of mine in like top 5 for me in just GT3s. I don't know why. The combo just makes for exciting racing once you get through lap 1. Yeah, your standout's got to be Suzuka, right?
Well, yes, Suzuka will be a really good circuit for next time out. And the format then for this round of the championship, we've got the C format, and that means a 75-minute race. But the change for this season, David, is that we've got a 50% fuel tank capacity limit, which means that the drivers are going to have to take 2 pit stops in order to get to the end of the race. Less than half an hour per stint. Do you think this will cause more strategy or less strategy? Because obviously the drivers are going to have to pit within a smaller window, but obviously they've got 2 pit stops to make, and they've got the added challenge of, do I take tyres or not, when obviously before it would be a no-brainer to.
Yeah, so more and less. More strategy on the sense of more fuel saving opportunities. More times you have to come through pit road. The more fuel saving you do, the less time you spend in pit, the further ahead you be. So, and this is a fuel saving type of track, so we could see some really good groups getting together, forming on track, helping each other out to pull away from groups behind. You have to enter pit road more. There's a big risk at Daytona. You're flat out on entry, and everyone, for some reason, including myself, doesn't want to lose out on 9 milliseconds, and we're willing to risk 40 seconds. It will happen. It always does. And 60 cars, when you have these packs and they're coming down pit road, you love to see it.
Yeah. Well, Chris Lollam, of course, messed it up at the weekend, right, in the IMSA Global Esports Championship, and that cost Team Redline the title in that category. So if he can make a mistake like that, any one of us can make a mistake like that. We've got our picks for the season. We always do this before a season starts, and I think for this season as well, we'll be doing it before each round and picking our race winners, because I've got to get one of these right eventually, because I do have a bad rep when it comes to these. But my picks for this season, I've got Lucas Tailman, who is one of the many returning Delatras Automotive drivers. Very strong in the wet last season, we saw Lucas, but also had some strong showing. I think he was 3rd in the championship by the end, 3rd or 4th. Got David Moeller, who has been a competitive Pro-Am driver the last couple of seasons. I think he was maybe 5th again last season, but has been near the top of the standings last season. And then Simon Andre Livingston, I believe the runner-up last season. I think the Pro Championship last season has been promoted to the Pro-Ams, and so he is sort of waiting in line to perhaps take that mantle. And then Delatras Automotive by Major Scale. We know that they're totally committed to the league. There's going to be 3 of them. It's a team of 2 or 3. 3 should be a bonus for them. And so I think that's a very strong roster, which I'm very pleased with.
Yeah, now I know what you've been up to for the last 4 weeks. You've been
mulling
over data analytics, the VRS telemetry.
To a supercomputer.
Correct. Chat GTP.
Yeah.
It looks strong. Very good picks.
Who have you decided to go for here? Who's your pro champion?
Yeah, so my pro, someone I've raced on track who's very fast, faster than I, Andrew Viella, Valkyrie competition, very fast guy. He's going to be on the bleeding edge, if not pole. I'm calling it pole.
Sure.
Mark Hutchinson, a name I know well, but especially from all the league events that I've been broadcasting that he's been in, he's a worker like him. Bad races go good for him. He sticks with it. He works through it. Solid pick. The AMs, I mean, I wasn't too flush on the names.
Sure.
But it's a name that I know from somewhere. As I say, it could mean that they're...
Yeah, it could be a bad thing.
Could be a bad thing that they've taken me out saying, but it's usually a good thing. And for team, I went for Impulse Racing by Tam Livery. They've got 2 very strong drivers. It was an easy pick. There are some strong teams, that's for sure. Yeah, I feel good about their lineup. I think it's going to be solid. I mean, your lineup is scary, but I always win, so.
You do always win, which is bad news for all the people that I picked because, my record is not very good. In terms of other drivers to mention as well, I shout out to Russ Fowler. I'm curious to see how he's going to do. He's one of the amateurs, is Russ. But I think we've got Livingston, who finished runner-up in the AMs last season, and Fowler, who finished 3rd in the amateurs last season. So with our champion from last season not being around for this season, it's really interesting to see if they can maintain their form and go up a spot and sort of inherit that place, or whether we're going to have new drivers who come in and actually usurp them for that amateur title. Anyone else that you are sort of keeping an eye on that you're curious as to who might do well this season?
Well, ironically, it is one of your drivers.
Sure.
Livingston, I think he's he's a brilliant driver. I'm definitely keeping an eye on him. But I forget the other name. Give me 4 seconds.
There's only 60 drivers to go through. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it won't take too long to be able to find the name
Thomas
that you're looking for.
DeRuyter. I've seen him on track a lot. I'm going to be keeping an eye on him for sure. But yeah, it is a strong field, and we've got a big field, and that's something they're going to have to get. They're going to have to be clean. They're going to have to survive T1s. Winning a championship is going to be tricky in this. It is a lot going to be going on. We're going to have at some of these tracks. We're going to have where they catch the AMs definitely once.
Yeah, that will be a big challenge for those guys. Should be really good for all of that. In terms of the weather, it is random weather every single round. It takes into consideration the time of year and the location of the circuit. For this round, there's no rain, so no needs to worry about that. But I really do think we're going to have rain this season. Last season in prototypes we did not, but this season I've got a good feeling about it. So hopefully we'll get some rain.
Sounds like match fixing.
We had 2 wet races sort of in the last GT3 trophy season. We had a very wet race at Nürburgring GP, which was just saturated by rain.
Yep.
And then we had a half wet round at Monza, where it got wet towards the end of qualifying, and it caused basically a reverse grid.
That was brilliant.
That day, and that was really good.
It was brilliant.
Rain just at the start of pro qualifying, so that was great. So hopefully we'll have some of that weather to challenge with this season. Let's have a look at the track, Daytona. And I've got a few moments as well from previous races as well at Daytona. Not too much into turn 1, but it is still a challenge.
Yeah, turn 1. Obviously on lap 1 you've got to stick to your line, whether it be inside or outside, but this is the problem when the pinch point at 2-3 with the 3D curbs, it's not always someone's fault. You do leave them enough room, but I remember this.
Yeah, this was one of the many races we've recently broadcasted.
This changed the championship. Who won?
Exactly, yeah. Being held up behind was the Delchaz car.
Well handled though,
allowed their
wasn't
teammate to
avoid
pull
the
away.
accident, but just lost out on the charge. But yeah, saying the pinch point in 2-3 with the 3D curbs is sort of unfortunate now. Then you've got the horseshoes. They're tricky corners in these low downforce GT3s. I mean, if they go wrong, it's a lazy spin, and then your car's left there for anyone to hit. And whoa, That happens more often than it should.
Exactly. It's not usually quite that late. It's usually sort of through the horseshoe, but it can happen like that. If you have a twist like the Porsche often does, it can be tricky.
The notorious bus stop. Good opportunity for saving fuel because passing's so tricky. Although,
when it's on the last lap, it's maybe more possible. Do you think it's worth going for a move like this on the last lap, or waiting behind and going for the run?
Not in, it's the problem in a championship with this many rounds and this many drivers. No, because if you get it right, what you're going to get 5 points. If you get it wrong, you lose.
Sure. Yeah, very true. Of course, that's the pit lane entry that you were mentioning before. Very tricky. That was in a GTP car for Martial Huber, but
it's not that tricky. That was pure driver, right? Let's just be clear. It's not that difficult.
Sure. Well, he didn't get a penalty, though, for that. He only lost 5 seconds. So he won compared to Lulham at the weekend, at least. Well, we'll go to the track in a moment, but we'll go to an advert first. And, yeah, we'll take you through the first stage of qualifying.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Welcome to Daytona. We are in AM qualifying at the moment. We've got 10 minutes for the AMs, 10 minutes for the Pro-Ams, and 12 minutes for the Pros in this 32-minute qualifying session. And the drivers currently putting in the best time that they possibly can at the moment. Thanks to VRS as well, by the way, whose trailer you just saw. And of course, make sure to check out both ApexRacingSim.com and VRS.Racing for details about all their hardware, including their new V2 wheel rim and wheelbase as well. Really great to see new products coming from VRS. But currently at the top of the outstands is neither of our picks. It is Jan Schuttler.
There you go. Long way to go. Picking up a draft here. It's open qualifying. Wow. So not having a teammate can put you on a disadvantage here.
Absolutely. And of course,
obviously you can hook up. You know, as long as you play it smart, you can hook up to the fastest guy on the grid if you want.
Sure, yeah.
As long as you can keep up with him on your outlap. So the grass looks quite flat here. I'm starting to think it was a Road Atlanta thing we were talking about earlier.
I mean, I haven't noticed it anywhere else. But
no,
yeah, is it just like a...
I don't know. I've had
maybe they're rolling it out track by track. But what David's mentioning is, and you can see it for yourself, Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup first round of that happened on Tuesday, and we went to Road Atlanta. And the grass is like
lush and dense.
It wouldn't do well at Wimbledon.
No.
Say that, or like Lords or anything like that. It's far too long for anything like that. But it's like a meadow almost.
Yeah.
This
looks normal, like
is
flat.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what's going on at Road Atlanta. They're putting some like steroids in their grass. Pindal is to the top by 600ths.
Nice lap. So I think I don't know the temps. What's the temps? Okay, so I did a 43.6. That put me 25th fastest driver of the week. Well, I've been doing this for... I had 19 hours drive time in the vet. Okay, and we've now swapped car. I now have an hour and a half in the Macca.
Oh, I didn't realise you changed.
Yeah, the bot hit the vet quite hard, so we changed. 19 hours. I could have almost done the 24 on my own, and now we've changed car. So I did a quick race this morning in the McLaren.
Welcome to everyone in chat, by the way. Thank you for tuning along. Katie and Sim City and Matty and Lennart and Tommy and Simon as well. But Simon, I think, is currently out on track. Your pick for the season, Jason Hodgson in 12th place at the moment. My pick, Livingston in 4th position.
Session's not over, mate.
Not over, but we've got a lot of new drivers. The top 3 are all rookies, which is really great to see. And the divisions are set by iRacing. So it's also set a bit by past ARL results as well, but it's mainly done by iRacing for the drivers. So hopefully, and it certainly looks like the AMs are very competitive this season. It looks like there's no outliers out there.
Yes, indeed. What's the humidity? Can you see the weather in full?
As Fowler moves up to 7th.
Okay, because I was just looking at why the AMs are only 3/10 off me. Yeah, officials are 88 to 95 humidity. So yeah, I have an easy excuse now.
Well, I'm not an expert on what actually does the humidity do. Is it all about just engine power?
Yeah, engine power.
Sure.
And obviously all that moisture down the track, it does leave the track a little bit, sleeker.
Sure.
Especially in the horseshoes. It'll feel like you've got extra rotation. What car is that? Oh, it's the McLaren. Their livery looks strange from the front. Do you mean it almost changes the profile of the car?
Almost looks like an Acura, I'd say.
Oh, is it an Acura? No, it's a McLaren, right?
I think it is a McLaren. But yeah, I think it looks...
The livery makes it look slightly different on the front. Their formation flying.
Yeah, this is Robin Vist that we are seeing driving around for ATRT. And these are, as we've got a spinner in the background. Not entirely sure who that was, but yeah, one of the drivers going spinning. And yeah, of course, it will be until 20 minutes in that these drivers will be able to set their
parking lot.
Yeah, someone else stopped as well.
It's a horseshoe. If it on cold tyres or lap 1, it is very tricky on low wing here. Very tricky nowadays. You almost want to V it.
Sure.
The temptation is to just hug that inside apex, but the problem is the rear just gives up the goose before you get onto the power. If you almost V the corner out, you can get that wheel open and focus on traction.
We've got some of the... As Hodgson still seems to be out on cycle, which is a bit concerning that Hodgson's out on cycle, but hopefully he'll return back to the pits. If he does do, then he will escape any risk of a penalty because, yeah, the drivers have to make sure they go back, as Hodgson unfortunately has done an extra lap, which, considering that he's not a rookie, is a little bit surprising, but hopefully he realises the error in his ways soon. He has now towed back, maybe just missed timing. All that. Sebastian goes to the top, but I think he'll be beat, and it is Kokok who moves up to first place, who was racing the Porsche Cups on Tuesday. We've got a run to the line here for Petrosan. Can he threaten the top? He goes 5th.
They're fighting. Teammates there, a little bit fighting into one. I assume this must be just they're going to do... It depends, because you've got open qualifying. It's very difficult to judge, isn't it? To judge how you want to set it up. The fastest way isn't always the best way, because things go wrong in your laps because of other cars. So you always want to have that bit of fuel in to make sure you get the lap you need. Great lap there for pole, 43.8. I mean, yeah, when I said a 6, I've only done it once. 6 once, 7 a couple, and then loads of 8s. So an 8 is a very strong lap.
Simon saying in chat, me as an AM favourite, Sam, what's an honour? Well, I hope you can. You need to feel me right, Simon. Like, seriously, I really got a bad. I need to start getting better at these. So if you could get like the win from 9th, that would be much appreciated. As Kokok is still out there, still getting a draft as well. He's one of the absolute motorsport ace-led drivers for this season. Always a very strong squad of drivers that that team produces.
Oh, whoever that McLaren is. Gave him a nice draft, then lifted up. It's a cool camera angle.
Could have been Daniel Ash. He was in front of him, but I'm not entirely sure.
This is going to be a strong lap. We're going to see our first 7. Oh. No.
Oh, that sounds like one of the predictions that I'd make. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
I was wrong.
green, sector green. I mean, you are right. Like, he was green
2
on 3
purples.
of the sectors, yeah.
Yeah. Must have been very tight margins. I mean, a purple can mean 0.01, can't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, this looks like a
that's
very good
nice
tactic.
draft as well, yeah.
No bump draft, though.
This is Sesenov ahead, and that was Janowski behind. Janowski goes 13th fastest. That was well executed. Great liveries on show for the season. A lot of new teams.
That Manuel Pienda time's holding up well. And P3 with all the Pro-Am times out there. Very looking strong.
Yeah, part of Cold Ice Esports. Have you heard of Cold Ice
No,
Esports?
but I did see there was a lot of
There
cold
is
ice.
a lot of them. I think there's 6 of them. I think there was even meant to be a 7th, I believe. But one had to pull out late on.
Cold Ice Esports.
But yeah, I don't know if they're renamed, but I'm not familiar really with any of their drivers either. But it's fantastic to see them in the championship.
Yeah, for sure. It's not a name I've heard. It's great. I would have picked them for the teams, but you have to pick one of the teams. I was just going to pick them because I was like, oh, okay, I've got 6 drivers, bam.
Well, if everyone scores points in a team, they'd probably win the championship
Correct.
without doubt.
That's why I was going to sneaky do it.
Unfortunately, it is just the highest 2 scores. You can have a maximum of 3 drivers in a team, 2 or 3 drivers in a team, and it is the 2 highest scores each round who contribute to that team's total. So you want 3 drivers, but you can win it with 2.
The blue sky in the TV screen there looks like how we want iRacing to show the blue sky
Sure.
out of your cockpit. Look,
I mean, it's so much brighter, isn't it, than the...
everything looks a little crisper in that TV screen. Is it just me?
So do you think you might start reversing around the track and
Yeah.
just yield the benefits from the better graphics?
Correct. Now I have the TV screen off, mate. It's FPS. Anything that's FPS, don't need a turn off.
Janowski moves up to 6th place. Janowski really improving. He was the one who was getting the nice draft before. I don't think he got so much draft that time round, but he still went very quick. Vist got a nice draft, but not enough to improve, and now he's very much stuck behind this car ahead. I believe it's David Mola ahead of him.
Yeah, I mean, he is a bit too close for optimal draft.
They are teammates, but yeah, I agree. They are probably too close.
Unless you're going to bump draft.
Well, that'll be a 0x, right? If you do that.
Oh, good point. That shows me open qualifying side.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
not something that
No.
is generally done, is it?
No. I suppose you could aero push, right? Just
Yeah,
that inch
true.
of aero push won't 0x, but yeah, to get close enough, you really need to risk the 0.
So the drivers who are now starting a lap, this will be their last lap. The reason why the pros get an extra 2 minutes is because the session ends abruptly on the 32 minutes. So everyone else can complete the lap that they start before their slot ends. The pros have to basically have that 32 and then it ends. So it is a fair system in case anyone questioned whether the pros had an advantage. Herkenrath, which is a fantastic name, moves up to 18th. With his latest attempt. Very close times. We'll say there's plenty through the season. But
Or even closer now.
even closer.
Aleski's put it in between them with an 8.51.
Good to see Okuni RT racing. I think one of their drivers, I forget who it was, won the LMP2s in the Raw event last week. But they seem to be a Ukrainian outfit. And none of their drivers I'm familiar with, but they seem to be very accomplished as Mola moves up to 4th.
This Frederick on pole has done an 8.37, as we know, but his last lap was an 8.96, so he's cooking.
Yeah. Yeah, had a personal best in there, so he certainly got more available.
I'm starting to think my 6 won't hold up to the pros. But it's the humidity. It's all the humidity, right? All.
Oh,
yeah.
No, I mean, it's...
I'll
Yeah.
probably do a 42.1, right?
Oh, yeah, I mean, what is it? 2-3 seconds a lap
A corner.
per percent
Correct.
of humidity. Does it change it enough, you would say, to adjust your braking points? Or is
No.
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 I was hoping you'd say yes. and
Because-
I'd find out why I've been so slow.
Well, it's not just... It's slower and not easy. So if you late break into T1 or Frederick's on a heater, well, 2 yellows, 2 purples, but he's running very low. too low. Almost like he blew it.
But that was Daniel, not Frederick.
Oh. Oh, sorry, yeah. This is Frederick.
Yeah, so not a great fourth sector. I mean it's good, but it's not the fastest. He's maybe about a tenth slower than the fastest fourth sector. Yeah, here he comes. Anything he can get could get him a position against the pros when they go out on circuit in a moment. And he does improve by about a tenth of a second. That's a big improvement, and he's down to a 7.
It's a solid lap, yeah. He's pulled himself a nice little margin there. That should really help the gap when the pros start banging in their lap times. Should really help him hold several positions away from his nearest competitor.
Yeah. Bist moves up to 6th. The only Pro-Am left out on circuit is Kjalfi, but he's decided to tow back. I think he crossed the line too late. I don't think that lap would have even been eligible. So he towed back, which was a smart thing to do.
Your Tortoise has been with us in a few league events.
Yeah, many. He was almost my driver who I was going to talk about, but last season he did all right.
Wait, so you've put a lot of analysis into this?
I mean, up
last
until
season,
5-6 minutes, I've been looking at this.
I had 2.5 minutes and I looked on a spreadsheet. You've done analysis.
So your Torts has finished 18th last season, but he did miss. He only did 2 rounds, so that had something to do with it. Didn't do stellar the 2 rounds he did. One he did quite badly, and one he did all right.
So this, I think you already mentioned it, but this is the guy that won the...
Oh, Korshavin, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, won LMP2s in the Raw before the 24 last week in the treacherous conditions. I mean, he will have more grip now in this GT3 than he did in the LMP2 last week.
Yeah. Although it's tricky out there on low wing.
True, yeah.
It really is. Baby in the car in these horseshoes. If you look at the steering input, it's all very smooth and slow.
So the only driver who hasn't set a lap time is Stephen Camphius. He did not set a lap time as a Pro-Am driver, so he'll be starting from the back, you would imagine. Of course, no qualifying bans for drivers to serve today. We have so far had 36 drivers set lap times. We're going to have a grid of about 55, I believe, today. Going to be huge. And the first few Pro times are going to be set fairly soon. So I expect that timing tower to change a lot in the next few seconds.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Albeit some of them are warming up still, seemingly, by taking the high line. Is it 2 warm-up laps, you reckon?
No. Well, I don't love the first lap, especially T1 and a little bit of T2. But in open qualifying, you should go for it, 100%. You shouldn't double out lap in open qualifying. I mean, what do you come round to? Like T1, there's a spun car, and
Sure, yeah.
so no, that's definitely not the strat.
Well, Shepard's pushed. He went to second. We were running ball with Korshavin, and you can see he was pushing. He was keeping the low line.
So you run the high line on the lap before though to build up top speed.
But that was their first lap.
Oh, okay.
Like first flying lap.
Maybe an off track in the bus stop, so they went higher to build up speed for the next lap. You have to remember off tracks here is dime a dozen. Let's have a look. Bound to see one here.
This is Alessandro Torchio, very experienced driver as well for Prestanda Nomad.
Yeah, it was nearly my pick as well for driver. He's a strong driver.
Do you remember where he finished last season?
Torchio in the GT, I'm going to say like 5th.
He didn't take part.
You, sir, are built different.
I have to say sorry. Good to see Matthew Duffin around. I hope you're well, Matthew. And James Crouch, awesome to see you around, James. It'd be great to see you back out on circuit. Of course, took part in many GTE races back on the old days on Sunday nights. It'd be awesome to see you in these cars.
So we saw some proper bump drafting there. But yeah, like you say, them 0x is definitely to worry about. Maybe incurred one. Definite bump draft in there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure I'd have thought of it because it's Daytona. You bump draft.
Yeah.
Well,
this lap is an absolute. I mean, this is going to eat. Oh no, sorry, I'm comparing the wrong times.
Yeah, that
it's
looked like
all
a
right.
0.
Shepherds goes top. What can these guys do?
Viella to pole. Perhaps we could...
Oh, well, B3's absolutely messed up this one. He's got to take back to the pits, and that one didn't count, so you were right.
Yeah, probably 2 0x's. And then crossed the line was like, oh, right.
That's what a 0x does.
Perhaps we can bring up the graphic of who picked the pole sitter at the moment.
You were picking pole sitter, or you weren't picking the
Yeah.
championship winner?
No. It's all about the now. So.
Okay, sure. So when he wins the championship,
Yeah.
You can't take credit for that.
No.
No. But yeah, Mishka up there, Tailman, my pick up there. Your Tortsa's doing well up in 5th place, usually a good qualifier, is Haldas.
I miss driving the Ford. Yeah, I said it. I think in my heart and heart, it's my favourite GT3. And that's crazy because of how badly I fought it when it first came out. I love the Macca as well, but that turbo, it always just kicks in right when you kind of just want the traction instead.
Sure.
Lucas Tamman with a multicoloured lap. We've got purple, yellow, green, yellow, so maybe a small improvement there. We know he's going to be quick. Ford, Acura, Macca, Ferrari, Acura, Lambo. It's a nice mix. And then the Porsche after the Acura, so that's very good. No Mercedes. There's no bop here, isn't there?
No.
But again, I don't know if I'd pick a Merc for a whole season. That's the problem. And it's the worst in the rain.
Well, of course, we had Artem Udod won the AMs in the Merc last season, but he was one of the very few AMs on that occasion as well.
Yeah, but he had a tremendous season.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically was a pro all season long.
Yeah, he was mixing it with the pros, wasn't he?
Yeah, very, very impressive. He even drove well in the wet in the Mercedes. Yeah. That looked like an off track. Hard to tell from this angle.
He's still pushing on. Let's see if he takes the high line to set up the next lap. Still got plenty of times with these drivers. Van Spijker moves up to 25th, another debutant. Oh, there he is. He's a Mercedes, Van Spijker.
Watching Thomas here, I've definitely raced him an absolute bunch in officials. He's definitely going for one more because he's going back up. The Audi's looking really strong. Pick for the the BMW is the pick for the 24, but the Audi's looking like a really good choice now with the Bob.
It is slightly unusual not to have Daytona at night. It seems to be the circuit that we always have at night when we possibly can.
Refreshing.
However, I think these liveries are really being shown off by the sun. Like I think all these liveries, really bright colours. We've got a lot of greens, a lot of blues out on track. And I'm enjoying it. That's a huge slide. A lot and a chrome livery there. Liking that from Delachas.
But if we appreciated the lap times, 43.3 is pole, 43.3 is P2, 4 for third, and then 5.7, 5.6, and then 2.7s. Very, very fast times.
Yeah, it's barely spread out in the top 5, but then you move outside of the 5, and then it's sort of
That's insane,
super close after that.
5 people in the 44.8s. 6 people in the 9s, so 11 people on within 2/10.
Euler with a pretty good lap. Don't think it's not going to threaten the top 2 rows. Might get him ahead of Khrushchevin. No, ended up not being an improvement. He's got time for one more. And of course, this is also the first round that we've had the Acura. Had a couple, had one actually, I think, at the Raw before the 24 event. But first time that the Acura NSX Honda GT3 is in GT3 Trophy. De Ruyter moves up to 9th.
Yep, that's the driver I was watching. My driver pick to watch for the race. Yeah, the Acura's a good car. I don't like it. It just doesn't suit me. I don't understand the entry to understeer, oversteer balance. But it is a solid car. Oh my, it's really quick. Has the most traction of any GT3. But, I don't know. For me, the phase from entry to coming off, I don't seem to be able to predict or understand the understeer-oversteer ratios. I mean, I haven't got too much time in it. But I think if you're getting into GT3 right now, this is probably the car you should learn.
I'm slightly confused by Corentin Lazine. You can see there, he's set the fastest first sector of anyone, and it is an absolute blistering first sector. I imagine, got an ultimate slingshot heading into turn 1. He's not backing it up, though, with the rest of these sectors, so I'm not sure if he'll necessarily improve in that Mustang GT3.
I've just noticed my team pick is 2 and 3. Wow. Let's go.
Lacine actually, so Lacine set only 2 personal best sectors, but he moves up to 4th. That first sector was so good.
Yeah, in the team, so we've got Valkyrie, Impulse, Valkyrie, and then Delatraz.
Yeah. Well, 8 rounds to go.
Yeah,
8 rounds
you
to
sound
go.
confident.
I just know that I've doomed a few teams. I mean, I just feel bad about it. Simon's watching along. He's shuddering. He knows he's got no chance. A B3 moves up to 13th, but still underwhelming for a B3. He'd be hoping to be up on the front few rows of the grid. Mishka, that'll be it for him. Remember, they've got to complete their lap before the end of the session. Korjavin moves up to 5th. Hooper improved to 14th, former Pro-Am champion. Remember, as Michael Hooper is actually the lowest iRacing driver out of all the pros, is Michael Hooper.
Torquio on a lap, pretty good sector 4, sector 3 strong, and no, he's not going to make it.
If he does make it, it'll be pole.
No, he won't be pole. It's sector...
But then if he made it in the 2 seconds that remain.
Yes, sector 1 was okay, sector 2 was a little off. Unfortunate there. Would have definitely gone up a couple of positions there.
Yes, he's got to do it in the race instead, and already the session has ticked over because the session ends so quick, and so we've got a lot of drivers to go through. I did have a read through the names yesterday, I think,
Good luck.
to try to figure out where the pronunciation may struggle, so we'll see how I do when it comes to these names. We've got Andre Filipe Viella on pole position. Then it's Raymond Shepherds, Leon Mishka, Corentin Lazine, Dominic Koroshavan, Lucas Telman, Howardus Utortus, Lawrence Shelavish, Frederick Kokok, Tom Euler, Brandon Tabone, and Thomas de Ruyter in the top 12. Then it is Ubithu, Hooper, Barry, Ramsawyer, Massetti, Torquio, Sebastian, Mola, Pindel, Vist, Schutler, Janowski, Petrosan, Van Spijker, Brown, Weil, Ash, and Ochapinti in 30th. Then it's Tim Greven, Mark Hutchinson, Malchurak, Setsanov, Livingston, Zetcher, Pooch in 37th. Then it's Herkenrath, Kialfi, Urberstein, Senna, Hodgson, Messina, Fowler, Rhodes, Meyer, Maglioni, Favre, Endres, Burnt, Van der Ven, Bretones, Rinker, Nova, Smolots, Bosman, and Camphius. 57 drivers. I'm not sure if Camphius is going to take the start.
Let's see. Well done. I think you did well.
They got gridded up quick. Didn't take that long, did they? How long was that gridding process?
I've finished another chapter in my novel. No, it's a really short. The IMSA races are going green in the bus stop, and you start just before the bus stop.
You start just before, yeah.
Almost a standing start.
So, 56 cars on the grid. Let's see how they can manage to do it. Turn 1 isn't necessarily the dangerous spot. Could well be turn 2 over the new curves, and turn 3 into the horseshoe. That could be the problem. So let's hope we get as many of these cars through safely in lap 1.
That is a lot of cars.
Season 9 of the Apex Racing League GT3 Trophy is underway, and it is Viella who takes us to the green flag. It's not a good start for the P2 man. Great start for Lacine. He's gone from 4th up to 2nd straight away. The teammates working well with one another, and they head the field. Valkyrie competition 1-2 straight away. Good start for Ram Sawyer. Not seeing many changes in the
Ross
top.
Fowler's dropping. Boris is dropping. Livingston dropped a couple.
As they head into turn 3, this could be the real issue point, and we have got a spun round. It is a Delatraz car who's round. It's Pierre Ubithu after a poor qualifying, and he is going to be right at the back. We've got a couple of other drivers who I think we're already near the back, also going straight on.
Yeah, cold tyres, it's brutal.
We're watching Ocha Pinti trying to make his way through. Lacine has got past Viella. I don't know if that was a mistake from Viella, but Lacine has taken the lead. He's up 3 places from his race start. But it is crucially still a 1-2 for Valkyrie competition. They will take that. Ramsawyer, I said he had a good start. He's up 4 places. Fantastic work from him. Sebastian up 4 places. Janowski up 5. Veal up 7. We've got Hutchinson with a great start up 7. We've got Rinka up 17. And I have to put an asterisk by that because I feel like that may have been a jump. That is an incredible start.
Yes, indeed. And we didn't have any major wrecks.
No. Not, well, yeah, I feel like we're pretty much safe at this point. We could still have 1 or 2 crash into the wall, but I don't think it's going to be a pile-up, which is incredible for Daytona and maybe shows just how many races the drivers have been doing these past couple of weeks.
Oh, we're losing...
Oh, that's a spin round! And now that could be a pile-up because that's on the oval.
No.
Drivers slowed down appropriately, but...
Oh, no. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They're still... Oh, my God.
No, they didn't slow down.
Oh, my God.
Well, some of the drivers got round lap 1 before he had the wreck.
I've seen ovals with less accidents.
I think that was just a bump draft. We were watching from the rear of one of the cars, and they were trying the bump draft, and fortunately, they all can take the faster pair now. They'll have to take an extra pit stop in
At least they'll have draft. There's like a pack of 10 of them.
Oh, one's
no.
fun. No, he won't be in the draft.
Oh, my God. I honestly... What does braking cost you? 3-4 seconds?
Well, I thought a few of them did.
You called it though.
But
I honestly
then a
thought
few of the
no
others.
way. But see, visibility can play a point. We have to remember if there's a car to the left and right and you're behind them, there is no visibility.
Yeah.
Well, apart from the smoke, flames, and cars in the air. Apart from that,
And the yellow flags.
and the yellow flags.
And the spots are telling you instant ahead. Yeah, Nicholas Rasmussen saying, wow. Fortunately, though, I mean, everyone got back to the pits. So,
Yeah.
like, there's not... I mean, a few of them lost some time. I mean, Jose Puig is spending a while in the pit lane, but he's going to be nearly a lap down.
So I missed this. I saw the aftermath. I didn't catch the spin. But yeah, if you're right, if you bump draft on the oval like this part, you've got to both be very calm about it. Wolf.
Oh, that's another spin. And that is Vincenzo Occhipinti.
I think there's a bit of a catch-22. I think Vincenzo half lost it. And the problem is, if you're not using brake lights, the car behind's following, you get a clip and then you're gone. So it's unfortunate. Oh, careful with the rejoin there. There was a car low. But yeah, if the bump draft goes wrong on the oval, it will cause a major accident. You've got to make sure you're not... The driver behind's not shuffling and the driver in front has to be smooth. If they react to the bump, which, you know, low-rated drivers feel like, you know... sometimes they feel like you have to counter the force feedback you always feel.
Sure.
You know, in a corner, that's what you do, but in bump drafting, you mustn't. You just got to kind of let it happen. Yeah, so we'll see the replay.
Alexis Field has just moved up another place now, 8th from 28th on the grid. There are the changes in the scene with that stunning start. They are teammates, Lacine and Viella. Viella started from pole, and he clearly said to Lacine, "I'm going now."
Yeah.
And he perfected the launch. Seen it with the Delchas guys in the past, so I imagine Tillman will have no complaints with that. Even
Alexis Villa's dropping. Yeah, I think he's...
Nice.
And wait, I think Mark Hutchinson as well. I think, yeah, Mark Hutchinson,
Yeah,
Alexis
slow,
Veal,
yeah.
and Danny Janewski may be involved.
He needs to limp that one back, Hutchinson. They do get a faster pair, do these drivers, so if you can limp it back to the pits, you can still get some points, but that's not the start of the season. Hutchinson needed one of our favourites for the Pro-Ams.
His car vanished. Mark Hutchinson there.
Yeah, he's gone back to the pits.
But you can't tow while moving, so he must have F4, is all I can think. I mean,
Sure.
you can't tow while moving.
Yeah.
So I think he snapped his keyboard. Oh. I'm not sure what that was. The change of direction for 1 millisecond of draft is... Oi, 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 oi.
Great to see some of the webcams for these drivers.
Yep, Livingston's in a sandwich there between two of. I'm trying to look at the team members. Same team, basically.
Yeah, Cold Ice Esports. Those teams, albeit one in the purple, one in the blue. And we will get replays, by the way, of those incidents on lap 1 later on in the event, but a lot of piecing together to exactly identify where the source of all the chaos was, as Lacine and Viella working well together, and that is really good rhyming, and they're 7/10 ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so replay's coming in. Here we go. This is it. So this is the race start. Yeah, I mean, the Valkyrie team had this in the pocket.
It was quite a bad start though for Sheffers. Like, I will say that, like, Sheffers was a long way back from the leader.
Yeah, and it looked like it cost Impulse, because Impulse were 2-3, now they're 4-5. Okay, so this is when...
Bone spinning.
There was a car there. There was nowhere to go. Yeah, he's...
And then Abithi got caught up in that one as well. I tried to go wide. Oh, he just got a small neck. Oh, so it wasn't bump drafting. It was 3 wide. And the car head, why did the car head go off? Did he have damage, maybe?
I'm not sure. I need to see that again. I wasn't looking at the outside. Oh, my.
And then these guys were slowing a bit, but then the guys further back. Oh, and then there was... Yeah, so one person did slam on the brakes, and they got slammed into from behind. Oh, Abithi did not slow down.
Right, he's getting a pen.
Janowski into the back of Veal there. That was seen very nice save from Janowski. And Hutchinson, the innocent bystander.
Yeah, no avoiding that. Ah, what a shame. Yeah, what a shame. So this is why we saw him going across the grass without a wing. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that last bump draft wasn't on. That wasn't a bump draft. You have to bump draft very gently, precise, dead middle of their car with a good closing speed. That wasn't. That was just hitting someone's quarter panel.
Hutchinson is back out on circuit. He's a lap and a quarter down on the leaders, so good to see him.
Yeah, the 3 wide. I was looking at the wrong car on the 3 wide. I was looking at the low car.
Sure.
And yeah, from what I saw, it looks like they just didn't leave each other room, right?
Yeah, there was a squeeze. Who squeezed who? Probably the outside driver, I imagine.
Abitsu's going to have a hard time not getting a pen, right?
Oh, yeah, he's stifling the bits. No, I don't think it'll be a qualifying ban quite. But, yeah, and it will be investigated by the stewards, and not slowing for yellows is something taken very seriously by the stewards.
They don't care what we say.
So I've looked back at the 3 wide, and I think it's actually the car in the middle who caused it.
Okay, so...
But who that was, I'm not entirely sure, if I'm totally honest. Yeah, an unfortunate incident. Actually, we were able to show you the replay again. Again, I'm not sure who this middle car is. Is it number 232, was it?
Yeah, the middle car doesn't... I don't know. It's just... What's the phrase? Do silly things, win... Do stupid things, win stupid prizes. Yeah.
May have been Steven Zetcher. If it's not Steven Zetcher, then that's libel. But I think it's Steven Zetcher.
I mean, it's an hour 15 race at Daytona. Your pace does not matter. Your fuel and your tyres do. You bump draft, you follow, you preserve tyres, you think about going long. And I've messed up my qualifying, I don't know, 4 times this week. And I wasn't even fretted. Because if you have a little bit of pace at Daytona and you can fuel safe, then you'll get it back. You are guaranteed to get it back. If you can stay out of trouble, hit your fuel target, and just stay in draft. I had one race where I lost draft just due to an accident in front of me. By the time I pitted, I was 8 seconds off the group ahead. Did nothing wrong, apart from the draft got broken really early in the race. And 8 seconds, there's no point. Fuel save all you want, you're not getting back 8 seconds. And they were burning less fuel. Absolute Motor Facelift in the chat. Hello, hello.
Barry has moved back. He's behind Tokyo now, so Tokyo up 2 places.
We have a top 3 breakaway.
Yep.
So that puts Impulse, they're going to have to really work together, some seriously clever bump drafting to get back on that, otherwise it's going to be a long day. And then, remarkably, it goes all the way back to, unfortunately, Tokyo has the draft broken ahead of him, down in P16. But yes, 4th through to 16th in a draft train. And that matters so much, because if we look at the next pack, you're talking like 5 seconds, the drop-off starts to become.
Reminder about the pits, the fuel limits for this round. Drivers are limited to 50% fuel. So we are expecting everyone to have to pit within the first half an hour of the race. No one's going to go further than half an hour. So
no,
the earliest you could come into the pits is probably on the 20-minute mark. You don't want to be pitting before the 20-minute mark. Otherwise, you're going to struggle to get home with 2 full tanks to the end of the race. Question that the judge got to ask, tyres or no tyres? If they take a full tank, then that should be enough for 4 tyres. But if they take any less than a full tank, then they may well lose time by taking tyres.
So I've been thinking about what I would do if I was prepping for this race. And it seems obvious that, you full fuel the tank and take 4 tyres on your first pit stop. But then I haven't done the math in my head, but it leaves you very vulnerable than not being able to take tyres on your second pit stop. So I would try and wind that down to a max of, say, 42.7 litres, something like that. And then that should give you enough for 4 tyres. And I don't know the math, but at least you probably will have the option for 2, maybe 4 on your second pit stop. Sure. But I think no more than 42. I think it's 42.7 litres roughly the average you can take for 4 tyres. I was working litres, not in time, because the only thing I put in is litres, right? Yeah. I actually have a little thing wrote down how long it takes lefts, rights, fronts, rears in GT3, LMP2 and GTP. So I just have that chart, and then when I go to put fuel in, I look up and think, yeah, I'm going to take 1 or 2 or 4.
We saw Ochapinta get past Pooch a moment ago. Behind the scenes thing here, I looked how to pronounce Jose Puig's name, P-U-I-G, and I wasn't sure how to pronounce it. It's a Spanish name, because there used to be a tennis player called Monica Puig, but she was Puerto Rican, so she pronounced it as Puig, but apparently you pronounce it as Puig in Spain. So if anyone from the Iberian continent or is Spanish could let me know how to pronounce the name, let us know, because I don't know.
So how did you pronounce
Pooch?
Puerto Rican? What did you say?
Puerto Rican.
Sorry, sorry. Can you say that first made-up bit again? What did you say?
I did. Well, this is why I'm asking about pronunciation, because I'm pronouncing.
Yeah, I got lost on everything you said.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Well, yeah. Well,
seems obvious now.
Most of us Brits don't know that Puerto Rico exists. So yeah, I can't pronounce Puerto Rico. Apologies to all the Puerto Ricans out there.
Although, so I lived in America for 11 years. When I came back, everyone stopped calling it Kiev.
It's Kiev now.
Yeah, I just was almost wondering what everyone's talking about. How do you go about publicly? Is it a Twitter thing? You have to be like, oh, we are renaming. This is now the name. It seems like everyone in England knew, but I didn't.
As Rhodes is going to get past Greenker potentially. On that same topic, it's not the Ukrainian, it's Ukraine. It's often how it's pronounced instead.
There we go.
So yeah, I know, it's just changed. Rhodes losing out to Greenker. It looked like he might be able to get past, but he just has to sit behind. And yeah, Livingston right behind these jars. Top of the AM jars, by the way, is currently Manuel Pindel. He's up 1 place from his overall start position. He's 20th overall. He's just ahead of his teammate Jan Schuttler. Gus Fowler is actually 3rd.
Frederick, Pro-Am driver, looking very strong. 10th, sitting in the draft perfectly. Excellent lap times. 4 positions ahead of his nearest competitor, Daniel Sebastian. Looking very strong. That's the good thing about Pro-Am and Am in this league. You can score massive points against your competition.
Yeah.
In Pro, not so much. Like, it is what it is. It's a normal...
You can lose a lot of points.
Correct? Actually, yeah, good point. You can lose a lot of points.
But yeah, points awarded for overall position, not class position. De Ruyter under pressure from Massetti in the background.
So to get back on that draft at the front, unfortunately, the Impulse boys are being dropped. Well, of course they are. They're out the draft train, so it's naturally twice as hard because you can't fuel save or catch them. But yeah, it's a top 3 breakaway, and they're 2.2 seconds off. Actually, Leon, Raymond's teammate, is actually out of his own teammate's draft, which is less than ideal. They really should hook that back up.
I think that was a mistake from Leon, because a few laps ago it looked like he was even faster than Sheffers, but and was catching him, but that must have been an error. And yeah, might be worth even Raymond.
Well, I don't know.
For a lap and then...
The problem is there's a lot of cars in that draft train behind. Like, if I was Raymond, I'd be like, good luck, mate.
Yeah.
You've got this. I'll see you later. Because essentially he's broke the draft train to 9 competitors. Yeah, his teammate's in there, but I mean, yeah. I would just act like I can't hear him over Discord.
Yeah.
So the volume's too low or something.
We've got Jordan Rhodes behind Rinker. Anyone who was big into football in the early 2010s will be familiar with Jordan Rhodes, who of course scored 30-odd goals a season for Huddersfield. However, I don't believe this is the same Jordan Rhodes. I'm not entirely sure. He is British, so he's Northern Irish, to be fair, whereas the Jordan Rhodes I'm thinking of is Scottish.
Why do you know Huddersfield facts?
Because I think on FIFA 12, I think I managed Huddersfield.
Ah.
And Jordan Rhodes, was one of the players. Dustin Rink is going to lose out, I think, to Jordan Rhodes, unfortunately. Has a fantastic livery as well on Rhodes' car. He might lose out. He's off camber now through this very tricky turn one, but he's got a good exit.
Very good exit, and this is the line you want. As long as you're not all over those 3D curves, you can hold this right-hand side, then it's easy pickings. Just make sure you focus on the traction off the corner, and there you go.
Let's go see Christian Malchurak back in the series. I think he last racing series, I think about 2 years ago, but was one of the late sign-ups for this season. Great to see him representing, or I've lost confidence, not sure what nation he is, but good to see him representing Europe. I know that.
Representing Europe. Jordan Rhodes, yeah?
Jordan Rhodes.
Guernsey.
Oh, Guernsey, not Northern Ireland. Oh, there's a spin. It's Rink.
It's easy to happen. What a champ, reversing. What's the opposite of a penalty?
It very much looked like Rink was driving on ice right there.
Yeah, very good. Also looks manipulated. His teammates there to help him push. Look at this. That's a nice looking livery. Not sure why the teammates are side by side.
Yeah, decide who's going to go ahead, and it's going to be Rink. Oh, Eulers rounds and Ramsawyer.
Oh.
And we've got parts of a car off the line. Now they can pit now and not have to take an extra pit stop, but it looks like it's Ramsawyer who's lost his rear wing, and he's got to get that car around to the pits, take his faster pit.
Yeah. Is that we're going to move being made? Yep.
This is the Rhodes battle again.
He's really going to try around the outside? Yep. But no room. There's never room next to a Ford. Antonio for SRP. Yeah, I saw they had a couple of drivers. He's trying to bring the fight to Livingston, who we know is a very strong driver.
Ramsawyer has dropped back again. I wonder if he's suffered the ill fates of a lack of rear wing, or maybe he just got bored and towed back. Hopefully we'll see him back out on track, but he was running up in the top 10, I believe, before that collision with Tom Euler, who seemingly has continued round Tom Euler without too much of a loss. So we wait to see if he has to come into the pits. But yeah, you can definitely pit now and get to the end of the race with 2 full tanks. Here is Tom Euler. See if he does duck in. He's going to lose a place to De Ruyter.
Yeah, Thomas is a strong driver.
And he does stay out. And Thomas with enough overspeed to be able to defend into the next corner.
Oh, he's opened up. He's won a fuel save. Porsche's incredible under brake in T1. That's its biggest strength. Absolutely incredible.
Some more replays. This was the spin that we saw before. And yeah, I thought he may have even got a touch when I looked up at the screen. Saw his predicament, but
Oof.
he was all by himself.
Whoa!
Oh no, so Ramsar sent it, and
Wow.
that was him hitting Euler.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, I mean, that made Verstappen's move look calm. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't making any portion of the corner there.
Hi, Jordan Rhodes is now deep.
Oh, got a big gaggle formed now. Side by side, Livingston's really having to put up a fight here. I don't think he's going to give it up.
Oh,
Oh, yoicks, Acura. Livingston breaking deep. He's got the correct line. The Acura's going to be in trouble with the Ford, but he will have the better line on the Ford. Yep. Livingston needs to be careful of ascend here. Oh, they're playing it calm, which gives the Ford the advantage.
Rhodes just falling off line, and he's all over the place now, under pressure into every corner. And Bertones might even get past Rhodes. I think Rhodes is the one up high, and yeah, Bertones going to get past. So 4 places lost for Rhodes in as many corners. And Van der Ven having a good sight to this, saving fuel, most likely. Still seeing no one come into the pits, everyone in their own draft trains and wanting to stay in them rather than having to punch their own hole in the air.
So what, 50% fuel, 55, 28,
Took me about
27.
27, 28 minutes, I think.
Yeah, 28's not easy.
Okay, Senna's in. Again, if we're pronouncing Senna wrong, it could be Chenna. Do let us know in chat. Mount Trek, he's been in the wars. He's constantly at the front of this pack. But it's Tim Greven, the pro driver, who got caught up, I believe, in that lap 1 incident. He has overtaken. Maybe he wasn't involved, actually, Greven. He was involved in something, though. A poor qualifying for him. And back to where he started now.
Yes, indeed. So, recap on our leaders. Currentin is currently leading from 4th, I believe he was, on the grid. Very impressive. Frederick's still out there in Pro-Am looking unstoppable. I mean, Daniel Sebastian's holding on to this. So he's still part of the same pack. So, see if we can take the fight to him later. And then Manuel Pienda, at the moment, uncontested leader in AM. He's got a 2-second gap to his nearest competitor. Happens to be his teammate. Well, teammate for a different colour car. So I think on day, not teammate. But maybe.
A long way ahead as well of the next placed AMs.
Yeah.
Nearly 20 seconds clear of the next AM drivers. So very strong round for them.
Fuel saving can definitely cost you a couple of seconds here. Okay, Robin Mir is in. This is still early, I
places
feel.
gained for Meyer. I don't know if we could maybe see a replay of Meyer's lap 1, because I think he was the one who gained 17 places on lap 1 before even the chaos ensued. I do wonder if he maybe got a bit cheeky by...
Well, he went around the outside.
I'm not sure. Maybe like held back at the start of the race and then like launched gained some places. I don't know. But it just seems suspicious for him to gain so many places. And I mean, obviously, if it was Seb Job, or if myself was in the field, then gaining 17 places is what you expect.
Yep.
But
so yeah, for those not familiar, it's literally a protestable thing in iRacing to not be close to the guy in front of you and use it as a run-up, hoping green goes when you're traveling twice the closing speeds of the people queuing.
So Coke behind his teammate. We've got 3 absolute motorsport aceless drivers in a row. They are representing Acura, Ford and Lamborghini. They could not agree on a track car. The Valkyrie competition are into the pits. Very interesting that they have decided to come in.
Yeah,
not being able to do the extra lap. It seems like a lot of people are pitting now, but a few have been able to manage the extra lap.
I definitely would want to be going the extra lap as well, because look what you get to avoid, all this like mess. And we have to remember, this pit stop, people are going to get caught out here. That low line, high line, you can hit each other outside the...
Yeah, because it's an oval.
Correct, yeah, you can actually make contact, and people... Look, he's like that Merc, like... you have to be careful at this track. Yeah, so keep an eye on Lucas Talman.
Yeah, big lap for him now.
Fastest lap of the race, and gone a lap longer. And he looks like he's in a fishbowl with that colour.
So at least these guys will get some clean air. The
see any
the
contacts?
competition cars. Only 6 drivers managed to go the extra lap.
Are we going to see any contacts on pit exit? It's easy to forget. Look, where they cross over. You've got to be so careful. I hate this track for this bit.
Where's the cut-off? Is it the white line where they do ghost?
Yeah, I think over the middle when you're both...
Sure.
Yeah, it's awkward. It's because we're so used to being able to drive through cars.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You
Not
just
even something you consider.
plough into them.
So, did anyone have a long stop?
Oh yeah, good point.
Not that I'm seeing. Everyone, I think, has nailed it.
The
Albeit
Valkyrie boys
yeah, Valkyrie
doing what
underfueled.
I suggested, yeah, just taking enough for the tyre allotment, not just over-fueling and thus not being able to do as much in the next pit stop.
And so you think they will take 4 tyres in the next pit stop?
Correct, yeah, I assume that's what they're doing, yeah. It makes a lot of sense.
Tailman's in.
Yeah, this could be solid, you know. It depends on his fuel. We have to remember, if he doesn't short fuel, we have to look at the differential, because it could be up to 5 seconds that he would lose because he's full fueling.
He's got his webcam up. Let's see if he stops on the marks. He does. So Mishka momentarily takes the lead of the race.
So this situation with ghost carring, and we all combat it. There was a situation in LMU, I was watching a broadcast. Someone had parked in someone else's pit box. And they've retired, right? Because they've retired. They've just pulled into pits and they haven't exited. What do you do?
So I guess you've got to pull ahead and then reverse?
No, just do what they did and smash it. Just push them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So instantly...
So you could actually move that car?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Well, maybe damage, but...
You should move it to your rival's pit stop.
Yeah. Right, let's see where Talman comes out.
So he's behind...
Right, so his pit stop was long.
So, but he might be around your Tortoise. No, he's not. So he's going to be very lonely for his Tailman.
But he is 4.7 seconds behind with a roughly 5-second pit stop shorter. So it's now just going to come down to, well, they can bump draft and draft, that's the problem. But Vieira and Corentin need to put in more fuel next pit stop, so it'll come down to tyres, to be honest.
So your Tortoise, one of the big gainers through all that, started P7. I think he was still P7 when he came into the pits, but he was up to P4 because he went for the Valkyrie competition strat, taking less fuel.
Yeah, I think that's the goal.
Here's lap 1 movements. That he might be all right.
Yeah,
as long as you're behind the car in front of you.
It doesn't have
flag.
incredible. Oh, hold on. Where's he?
Yeah, so he's moved well through there. Everyone's very slow on the inside.
Here he goes.
He sends it up here.
AI move. Oh, oh no, look, this is going to be great.
Yep, so I think it's, and then he, oh, so he oh, wow. What an avoid.
Yeah.
Great work. He was on the brakes there as well. He earned that avoid.
Yeah, great stuff.
I mean, he wasn't on the brakes when he saw the smoke initially, but he was on the brakes when it mattered. Britones ahead of Fowler. And that's for P3 out of the abs. Andrew Brown is into the pits. He pitted on lap 1 for repairs. That's why he's out of sync.
So shout out to Robin Meyer, who has taken a good sized pit stop, a 22, not, you know, the 5 second longer one. He's up 23 positions, looking strong. That's a big number, by the way.
And that was the driver who we were seeing before in that replay, yeah.
But he was, what, 17 before the pits, and now another 5. But he pitted very earlier than most. He pitted lap 14, most pitted 15, and the 5 cars did 16.
Fowler was overtaken by Patones. He's now been overtaken by a few other drivers because of a collision with Simon Andre Livingston.
He's going to keep that in.
Senna around the outside. He was the first to pit on lap 13, Senna.
I don't think Livingston's saying nice things on his web camera. I saw his mouth move. I don't think he was saying, good driving, sir.
He was it Delachas last season in prototypes? He was super animated.
Last
lap at Road Atlanta, waving his arms about. There's a clip of it on our Apex Racing League social medias.
Yeah, if you keep clipping them, Sam, and putting them on social media, they're going to stop using their webcams. You can't wait to get making that oval crash clip.
Oh, I made a note of it, yeah.
Yeah.
I made a note of that and the really good ice rink pun.
Oh, yeah, mate, you are amazing. Your puns are...
I'm sure to mention that.
Good partnership going on here. Working together at Daytona is vital.
2 rookies as well here, Koroshavin and Massetti. Shout out to Apex Racing Academy, by the way. It's a bit of a late one, but if you are still looking for a GTP setup, then Apex Racing Academy for Daytona 24 are giving away the GTP setups for free. All you need to do is head over to apexracingac.com, click on the Daytona 2025 button at the top of the screen, and put in your email, and you'll be emailed those setups. So yeah, do make sure to check.
Livingston's come in.
Livingston in. Has some damage, it seems, from that turn 1 impact with Russ Fowler, wasn't he?
Has he not tipped his fast repair?
Oh no, so what's that with Fowler? 317. Yeah, it was with Fowler. So Fowler had the opposite lock and speared into him. Oh, that's because if he'd got that damage 10 minutes ago, it wouldn't have been too bad. But now he's had to take an extra pit stop.
No, I think it's worse, Sam. I don't think he had the fast repair ticked, mate. I think he's forgot.
Or he ticked it earlier on and had already used it.
Yeah, maybe. I think he forgot to tick it. I think he's now got to sit there for, say, 6 minutes before he can tick it. Yeah, that's my bet. Unfortunate.
Sheffers is going to move past Utortis. Utortis went for the short pit stop, but he's being bump drafted by Shelovish. These guys aren't teammates, but they are both Dutch, so maybe supporting. There's a spinner as well. Maybe Thomas Burnt, perhaps. Not entirely sure, but there was someone off the track at T1.
Yeah. Well, the Tokyo Hooper bat looks tight. Yeah, they're bouncing back and forth like crazy. They're sharing door to door.
Hooper not high I-rated whatsoever when it comes to the context of the pro. He's still higher I-rated than me. No, he's not. He's lower I-rated than me, and that really does demonstrate how deflated his I-rating is compared to his pace. 3.4k is Hooper. The next lowest pro driver is 4.3k for Brown. The reason why Hooper is a pro is because he won the Pro-Am Championship a couple of seasons ago, so he's now not eligible for that series. Jeff is being given a big push again by Shelovish. These guys are working great together.
They really are, and that's so critical here.
Utortis will want to make it a trio.
These Valkyrie boys are absolutely cooking, by the way.
They're storming away, aren't they?
Yeah, 7 seconds. Obviously, there's not a lot Lucas can do now. No draft, plus he needs the fuel. So, but yeah, these boys are... I mean, this is fantastic. So if you're watching this and wondering how do they push so well, and I'll tell you, when you leave the bus stop as the lead car, you lift. Because the sooner you start getting pushed, the quicker you both go.
Sure.
Whereas if you are quick, then by the time they catch you, they barely add anything to your speed. So yeah.
And the reason for that, is it because of the pressure behind the car? The fact that when you're touching, you've got less...
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something science.
NASCAR people will know about the bump drafting. But yeah, it's something to do with how you, if you've got a car behind you, then that decreases the pressure behind your car, so it makes you go faster in a straight line.
But they're also very good drivers as well. That also
Yeah.
helps. That plays a part in why they're able to follow so closely.
I'll be hoping that traffic doesn't play too much of a part in this race. They will catch a little bit of it by the end of the race.
Oh yeah, see the track map. It's going to look busy though, isn't it? It's going to look very busy. Yep. There you go. Someone is everywhere. No, everywhere there is someone. I can't. Yeah. One
I think
of those.
both apply.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, they've got a few stragglers at the back of the field that they've got to deal with, but no big packs for a while.
SRP. I know the team. It's one of the streamers. It's going to bother me. I'm going to look at
Anyone in chat who knows, please let us.
It's
he starts. But yeah, Antonio Bertones up 23 places. Bertones, he's really storming through. We saw him overtake Russ Fowler a while ago. I think Bertones might be involved with Borja Zaze. I remember they both took part in the Racing Unleashed GT3 series that we broadcasted a few months ago.
Yeah.
As we've got a slowdown, it looks like, or maybe someone just being lapped. I'm not entirely sure, but someone's going slow. Up high on the oval, Bari, we are tuning back in with Van Spijker. That's for 20th and 21st. Tabone has passed Petrosan as well. That's for 26th. Tabone, of course, having an issue earlier on in the race, hence why he is so far down. The Maltese driver started up in P11, but I think had a collision at turn 1, which was his fault, and no one else's fault.
Yep.
But he is making his way back through now.
Ah, Stradi. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, 100%. What's his name? I speak to him all the time, but he's foreign, so we don't speak a lot. We just have a good respect for each other on track. Kenny, Javier Soto. Thank you. Yeah, Javier Soto. Yeah. So we've been racing each other for as long as I've been on iRacing.
Sure.
As long as I've been on iRacing. But yeah, so I said we speak very little because we don't share a
common words.
Correct. But yeah, I've seen the livery a load. That's definitely where I got it from.
So we're now halfway through the race. The packs have genuinely spread out a little bit. Earlier on in the race, we had packs of 10 drivers or so. Now, really, the biggest packs are about 4 drivers down the field. So it has come down a little bit since the pit stop. So that's a move there for Tom Euler, moving his way back through the order past Coke for Absolute Motorsport Aces. So that's one of the bigger packs. We've also got this trio with Van Spijker, Bari, and Janowski.
Oh, there you go.
He's not going to get much success around there.
Salvatore's in chat. Hi, I'm the team manager from SRP. Good luck to all competitors. Nice.
Oh no, I feel we're both looking down.
Oh. What's he done there? 3D curb?
He was wide.
Don't try it, son.
And then I looked down.
Kill the TC? Yeah, ledge. Go right, go right.
Oh no! What is he doing?
Well,
I mean, the rejoin was fine, but what was Grevin doing?
I mean, I'm not. The Ford had time.
He had more time than the world.
Did he think he was going to move?
Thinking he was moving.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that is a thing, right? When you see a car spinning in front of you, you always get told,
sure,
move where they are. However, that car wasn't spinning, it was stationary.
I'm not sure, yeah. It looked odd. But again, we did have a TV chase camera. It can warp perspectives on how we see it. But, yeah. Yep.
Oh, he's so
Sometimes a
back to the
replay
race.
from cockpit cam tells a different story.
So, Coco has dropped back. So he was overtaken by Euler at the start of the previous lap, but he's dropped behind De Ruyter and Sebastian now. I think he's got to slow down. The fact that he's lost a second and a half would tally up.
And Daniel Sebastian's hooked up to Thomas De Ruyter. He has draft, and Frederic Coco is not in draft. This could be huge. This could come down to not a pace difference. Okay, replay of the Ford accident. Here we go. So he did get on the 3D curbs. That's unfortunate. Good save-ish. Okay. Yeah, no.
Brakes would have helped.
And plus, from cockpit, he's dead middle of the track. Like, he's not super...
But when you see someone in... it's easy to say. And honestly, I sound awful, I realise when I just say, or just use the brakes. But, like, I think it's just that once you're involved in, like, 10 of them, as I think I probably have been. I remember the first ever Sebring 12 hours I did. First stint of the race, we have a driver in the middle, basically on the start line at Sebring, like horizontal to the track. And I just thought, okay, I'm just going to go to the right here and pass him. And he moved at the last moment. And from that moment on, whenever I see a car stationary in the middle of the circuit, there's always a lift for me, just to give me that little bit extra time, to react. Because it really does help. Because in that scenario, if you just pin it, you are totally in... I think in the hands of the other driver.
So the Ford's got to make that turn. By the time he sees him, I think half of it is he thinks he's going again, like he's moving forward, and the other part, he was dead middle of the track. So I am. It is borderline dangerous rejoin. You can't join into the middle of the track stopped.
Sure.
I mean, it didn't look too bad on TV cam. It looked like he got over to the right and he was just sort of waiting to get going. But end of the day, he rejoined an active track on the middle of the track and wasn't moving. So it doesn't look too good.
Also, another great example of why that chicane sucks.
The 3D curbs have absolute... it's
just
such
have a
shame.
nice straight between T1 and T3. And we'd avoid so many instances.
Bin these 3D curbs, man. They feel horrible on force feedback. The suspension's all janky. It makes it so narrow. That's what people don't get. Now 2 and 3, or this section here is so narrow. And you've got multi-class traffic. Oh, lovely move.
Yeah, Rhodes moves up a place past Mount Truex. Rhodes up 17 places now. As Mount Truex run wide. Mount Truex was moving his way up through the order earlier on, but he seems to be struggling a little bit now. The pit stop window for the second pit stop is going to open in about 3 minutes' time. The likes of Stefano Senna, who came into the pits very earlier on, may well be soon, fairly soon.
Very earlier on.
I said earlier on, and I said soon, very soon. So I'm not having a great time of it. Only 43 minutes into the season, and I'm coming up with phrases like that. But no, that did make sense though, right? He came into the pits earlier on.
Well, he can't have come into the pits later on, or...
No, because he came in early compared to everyone else.
Earlier on
in the race.
I'll allow it.
If you like the sound of mine and David voices, we do host the Late Apex podcast as well. And that is available to watch now on Apex Race 2. We did an episode earlier on. We discussed Verstappen's controversial move into T1. We were following the AC Evo release as it was happening as well. AC Evo wasn't a thing when we started the broadcast, but it became a thing as we progressed through, and everything else when it comes to sim racing. We tier listed the iRacing special events as well, so do tune into that. It's every Thursday at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, you can catch it on Apex Racing TV YouTube. You can catch it on iTunes and Spotify podcast.
Yes.
So follow them all. Then you get 3 notifications we're live.
Yeah. Gonna look at slow-mo.
So the Ford in slow-mo.
So the right.
Oh, he is moving.
He was moving a bit to the right. Yeah.
So it's over. Yeah, it's over. He's stopped and moving. There's. I mean, I don't know what I would have done, but not that. I don't think the Ford... I'm not blaming the Ford at all.
Sure.
I mean, obviously on TV cam, the first time it looked dumb as hell.
Well, yeah, I hope he learns something from it. I hope he doesn't. I hope if that scenario comes across him in the 24, there's a bit more lifting.
The irony is, if you brake really well, then the guy behind slams into you, isn't it? That's the other thing you learn with years of experience. It's a shame. You're like, oh, I've avoided this, then plow from behind.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how my last Daytona 24 ended, actually, through this section. And lifted for an instant ahead and, yeah, got hit from behind. So, fun times.
I had 2 Daytona 24s. Lap 1 T1, dead. Okay, good. We try again. 4 hours later, my teammate, who shall remain unnamed, crashed on pit exit.
Wow.
Robin Mir recovering. So I did the Daytona 3-hour across 2 events.
Sure. Stefano Senna into the pits first. He's got 28 minutes to go on this last tank, so he will need to maybe save a lap of fuel to get to the end.
Yeah, I mean, 28 is what the top guys were essentially doing.
Yeah.
By the time he comes out, he'll have a little bit less. But yeah, I mean, he's not made it easy on himself.
No, he came in a lap earlier than he had to. He definitely had an extra lap spare, unless he underfueled the car at the start of the race. Because everyone else managed to go 1 lap further. But yeah, that means that everyone else is going to be in very, very soon. And the gap for the leaders is now up to 8 seconds.
I expect the lead pair in 2 laps, let's say, and then the rest a lap later, I suppose. 30. I mean, we might see a couple go to 32.
So Senna's now in amongst the traffic.
Woo! I hate that happens.
Yeah. What an awful pit exit. Really, it's just dreadful.
That one reminds me of Charlotte Roval. You know, where you exit and the next one's a right-hander. It's so frustrating.
I'm not sure which is worse, the new Charlotte Roval pit exit or the old one. Because the old one, I think you rejoined on the apex of T1.
Right, yeah.
And then this new one, you enter on the exit of T2 as the other drivers.
Montreal in and out takes the biscuit, doesn't it? The in's a joke.
Outs, I think, is really good. It's so good. Remember last year when Norris was coming out of the pits in the wet, and he was like, and he was miles ahead, and he was squirreling along, and you're like, come on, go, and then the other drivers like going through turn 1, 2, manages to get ahead.
Yep.
Also, it's cool to have like a short pit lane.
Yes.
It's generally better for strategy when you only lose 15 seconds
what, like
on pit road.
Suzuka, Long Beach, those sort of...
Yeah.
Right, they're in. So these are in because they short-fueled. So this is the lead pair. We expect everyone else to go at least 1 more. I think we will see a couple go all the way to 32.
Your Tortoise will probably come in on this lap. He's the only other one. Your Tortoise managed to go the extra lap.
Yeah, I mean, they are short even for themselves. Oh, wait, split tyre strategies?
No, I think they're both
on the
ground.
I thought one didn't go up.
I wonder if you could get pictures of that again, just to confirm that they are both on the ground. Oh, no, yeah, one. Maybe, well, there was certainly some movement on the jacks, yeah.
Oh, so they did, okay.
Oh, so yeah, maybe they are on the same strat, I'm not sure.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like it. Almost identical pit times. Just we missed the wheels up. Yeah, they've split their pit stops brilliantly. That's exactly...
But they are going to have to deal with a bit of traffic now. That's the only disadvantage. And these guys aren't going to come into the pits for a few laps. Well,
the majority of the cars are in on 30.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think there's 4 cars that can go to 32. I mean, you would want to, because you get that low fuel running. You know, you're a little bit quicker, so it's advantageous. Yeah, I mean, this traffic doesn't matter. As long as they stay safe, that's what matters to them right now. They just need to stay safe. They've got good tyres. It's going to minimise their mistakes. Yeah.
Hooper's had an issue. I'm seeing him as,
Oh,
as
yeah.
out. And it seems like he's had a disconnection. Picture him there for Hooper. He was, I believe, running around 14th place. Tailman should be able to go longer. Probably to lap 31 or 32. He went further than anyone else in the first stint. But you taught us he short fueled in his first stop, so no surprise he actually did well to make it this far. And all the way to 30 rather than 29. So he's still looking for probably not a top 4. He's probably not going to beat Shelovish and Mishka, but maybe Misetti and Koroshavin he might be able to beat your tortoise today. It's been a fairly unaction-packed lead fight today. The leaders haven't been making too many incidents. We had a couple of crashes at turn 1 for the guys on the outskirts of the top 10, but the top 8 or so have just been working together and figuring out what the best strategy for this 2-stop race is. Tortoise well behind, of course, the eventual race leaders, the Valkyrie competition guys.
Yep. And he's got a bit of fuel to make. Oh no, Utortus was on the same strat as the leaders, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It's Talman that's the furthest ahead on the other strategy where they took full tank at the start.
So Vance Spiker finally gave up the position to Lassine, but Lassine still got Bari to overtake as well. We'll have to wait until after the bus stop, it looks like. Here is Tailman. We're thinking he's probably going to come out of the pits, Tailman, about 3 seconds behind the race leaders, unless he can really make up some time during this sequence. And he's in already. That is surprising that he's in now. I thought he'd be able to do a couple more laps, but Sheffers is in as well. Shilovish continues on.
Yeah, I'm trying to think why. Maybe traffic. Maybe he was coming up to a bunch of lappers and thought, I'll roll the dice and hope I come out to less now. Yeah, you're right. He is going to definitely gain on the front running, but he did lose too much to be in the fight.
Yeah.
Even if he's a second and a half quicker on fuel, which he could be, he proved he can go long, and he's got about 5 seconds less fuel, it still puts him minimum 2.5, minimum. And that's being optimistic, I feel.
Yeah, I think it would probably be 3.5, 4, especially seeing that he might take a bit more fuel due to not saving before.
Yeah, and he's not... Oh. Oh.
So he's only just ahead of Sheffers. Sheffers is closed in... Is that Sheffers? No, that's not Sheffers behind.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on Talman where he rejoins.
So yeah, he's 5 seconds behind.
Yeah.
On the way back. He had to take, like, a decent amount of fuel. That was the issue, because he didn't save anything in the second stint.
Yeah, he's about a second to the wrong on fuel, which I understand. He didn't have any draft. He didn't have a teammate, so I completely get it. Oh, all the lights just got brighter.
We are now sunset, I believe. Still, the leaders are yet to come into the pits. It's the top six. Quarantine Lazine will be the leader. Biela's in his draft, so it will be a 1v1, but you question how much the teammates will fight each other.
Oh.
Shelovish pushing it on the pit entry. And that's probably the wise thing, right, is to get right into that slow lane immediately.
That's what I do.
So you ghost through everyone.
Yep, I enter the cones on the low line. I go very low entry. That's just how I was taught.
So Koroshavin, Vist and Mola, the guys who are able to go one further lap. It seems like Koroshavin's got a bit of clear in front of him. The question now for Shelovish, can he get anywhere near Tailman? Or is he going to be quite far behind? Tailman is certainly ahead. And Shelovish is a long way behind.
He does seem longer than I thought. Yeah, he's going to be, what, 4.5 seconds off? Maybe more. 4.3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess that's about the same as what it was before the pit stop. Your Tortoise is behind those drivers still.
Thomas coming out.
Off track for Coke. Our leader in the Pro-Ams has had a spin.
Ooh, no, and this
that's
is
not a good rejoin. But
how did the Porsche avoid that? I don't understand how the Porsche...
Well, I think he collided with Sebastian,
Ah.
and so Sebastian was going very slow himself.
Waited. Yeah, I assume he waited.
And you can't help but feel like this could result in a second contact, seeing that they'll have bad blood with each other.
No. If they were involved in a crash and he was off on the right, I think Sebastian...
Oh, that's a good shot, yeah.
Waited. Yeah, unless he was 180'd. We didn't see... I was just shocked to see the Porsche, like it looked like he was just going to smash into him, but he was actually travelling very slowly. So either he had to recover or he was waiting. We'll get a replay of what caused that. But yeah, that is the Pro-Am battle.
Yeah, and it might open the door for Vist and Mola to take the lead in the Pro-Ams now.
Well, yeah, if anyone's off pit cycle and coming out, then they've got a great opportunity if that costs them that much. Yeah, Wist. Yeah, Wist is in a good opportunity here.
Korshevin and Mola in as well. Korshevin leads for a bit, but it is now Lacine and Viella at the front of the standings.
Are the ATRT the orange cars, yeah? Those bright orange topped cars, yeah? Because if so, he didn't take tyres. Yeah, he didn't take tyres.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah, they obviously overfueled. That's what I was trying to work out at the beginning. They took too much fuel at the beginning that they've left themselves with this awkward, damn it, I can't take tyre situation.
Yeah.
So that's why it's good to split it. But I think he's in a good shout. He's going to
be in the lead of the Pro-Ams, no doubt about it.
Yep.
The question is, will Mola be second out of the Pro-Ams, or will Coke be able to get ahead? No. Mola is ahead, so great work there from ATRT. And they got a 1-2 now, ahead of Sebastian and Coke.
Yeah, very nicely done. I say he's going to be a little vulnerable, but it's only, what, 17 minutes, so it's just, yeah, it'll be fine. Okay, replays. Oh, so he did. Oh, so he weren't waiting. Well, maybe he did wait, but...
So Euler was the driver who was spinning ahead, and Mola didn't leave. It's tough. It's very tough, just clipping the rear corner.
So that was Sebastian that spun, right? Sebastian
sorry,
that spun.
Sebastian
Yeah,
spun.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
saying it's Tom Euler, but
And
no,
then he
Sebastian.
clipped. So it was actually the lead pair, the leader that spun. Then P2 got caught up in it. So what we saw wasn't him waiting; it was him getting going again. Look at this. Different time zone, these two. You know what these two remind me of?
Yep.
The Apex Racing team.
The guys from a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that was obviously it didn't work out, but it was so absolute dominant.
It wasn't a 1-2, was it? But it was like a 1-3.
Yeah, but it should have been a 1-2 that no one ever forgot by such a lead, right? That's the upsetting thing, but people still remember it. That was insane.
The Royce ahead of Vist now. Vist can afford to... Well, yeah, he'll be delighted with a win. I'm sure will Robin Vist. I'm trying to remember if Vist took part last season. So he did take part last season to Vist. Finished 5th last season to Vist. We had a Bio who's not here this season, A-Guards who's not here this season, and then of course Hutchinson who is around this season. Carbonari as well also finished over. So Vist came in as one of the favourites. We didn't pick him, but he is delivering right now.
He is indeed. This was definitely on my list when I went to pick a driver. His name stood out.
Brandon Tabone, after issues earlier on, in 21st place now. I think he fell outside the top 30 at one point. He's made up about half of the positions he lost initially. He can make up a few more, maybe get as high as Van Spiker by the end.
Bro, can we give a shout out to the 1-2 in Anne? They are running 11th and 15th. The next nearest AM, 26th. They are absolutely cooking. This is going to be such a big point haul for round one. That's impressive. P11 in this field. Very good. Very, very good. But then again, it's easy to forget. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 retired cars. If you were, you got your qualifying right and you stayed out of trouble, and the draft behind you was broke, then plain sailing.
Well, they're not retired, I'll say. Only
Oh, yeah, sorry.
5 of them are retired.
No,
But
good
yeah,
point. They're a lap
another
down.
9 are like, yeah, lap down. Due to repairers.
But then again, you could be a lap down just on pace by now anyway, so yeah.
True, yeah.
Bit silly of me. 57 cars. You have to remember, even at the green, by the time you've come out of one, because there's so many cars, it's a monster gap from first to last.
Yeah.
By the time you finish lap 1, monster gap.
Anders Meyer in chat. Anders, where are you this season? It'd be awesome to see you out there.
Where is Livingstone? He's had...
Oh, Tom Euler, sorry, has had an issue. He's had a couple of spins tonight as Tom Euler. He got hit earlier on, and he's lost some of his front end. That's
God.
a terrible rejoin, and he's hit Sebastian. Sebastian will lose his bumper, and may
That
have
was
some
our
steering
former
damage
leader,
as
wasn't
well.
it?
Yeah.
He was on for a P3. Oh, he's...
But Tom Euler will be, yeah, he's messed up on that one.
Anders, to answer your question, unfortunately, Livingstone was caught in a... There was an accident, and yeah, it shuffled out to him, forced him off the track, caused some damage. It looked like he pitted, and then it looked to me like he forgot to tick his fast repair, and he came into the pits and had to first fix his car.
Yeah, 7 minutes stationary.
Yeah, I think he forgot to tick his fast repair because, well, yeah, I've got a sense of these things. I think he forgot it.
Sheffers, oh, someone's sliding around there. Sheffers ahead of Mishk. Now, they were dealing with the traffic, and I think that may have benefited Sheffers because I think he's up to 5th position now. But a longer pit stop did Sheffers, so I believe you've dropped behind Mishk. They are teammates, though, these Impulse Racing by Tam Livery.
Awful rejoin, though. Awful, that rejoin we just witnessed.
Terrible.
I mean, it
So
would have...
far, worst of the season.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so
Oh,
replays.
replay of it.
Oh, so
Porsche
this
thing.
is... Wait, it's not this dude that does... Oh, so I... Well... So, it's not as... It is terrible. I know what's wrong. He can't turn left. So he's...
Oh, okay, you think he's got damage. And
Yeah,
damage, sure.
so I've been there. I've done exactly what he's done. And it's... Because you head out and think, oh, I'll go round the left. You throttle, turn left, and then you just
Yeah,
go...
yeah.
And then before you know it, you're like, no. So, yeah, I mean, looking from that wall impact, he hit the front left, so... I mean, yeah. It's not... Doesn't mean you get a free pass, because end of the day, you should check your car before you drive onto the track. I don't know, but, you know, I'm just saying...
Not too many battles going on out on the circuit. It's fairly white on our timing screen, which means that the gaps are over 1 second.
We want the Valkyrie boys to white flag battle. No, I mean... I wonder how they're settling it, right? Because Viella got pole. Oh.
Oh, that was Sheffers. Did he go into the back of Courchevan? Courchevan's now dropping back, needs to make a decent rejoin, and that's all right, but he drops behind your Torts as well, so...
So do you think that was a mix-up in how much he was lifting for fuel and the person behind
Yeah, I
wasn't
think so.
saving?
Oh, is Sheffers going to let him back past? He's dropped back behind Mishka, and I think he'll continue to slow until he lets past Courchevan to avoid a...
Or he's
later on.
just got a damaged car, mate, and he can't...
Or that. Looks all right, though. He seems to be pushing up ahead of steam now. Massetti's got ahead of Courchevan, so maybe Courchevan's got some damage himself. At this point, yeah, if he's got a meat boy, he will have to serve it.
Yep. Yeah, that's a shame for Dominic. Yeah.
Seemingly pretty good through that corner, at least.
Looks so little, doesn't it, the Acura compared to the Ford?
Yeah. I think everything looks small compared to the Ford. Although the Ford is very tall, I guess. So
Yeah.
it almost looks narrow, therefore.
Rolling start behind the Ford, you just cannot see what's going on. Whereas when you're in the Ford, it feels like you're on the VIP seats.
In terms of the leads, if people aren't aware, and Lacine and Viella are teammates. So we're not sure how this is going to work out. We don't know whether the scene will just lead these guys home and they won't fight, or whether they'll start fighting with a couple of laps to go, whether they'll leave it on the run to the line. Sheffers, after that contact, what a shame. He was on for a P4, but he's going to have to take repairs. I'm surprised he's having to take repairs because his pace seemed all right. But
He caused it, right?
no, he was the one who got hit from behind.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, sorry, he did
Into
cause
Dominic,
it.
yeah.
He did cause it, my
Yeah.
bad.
Oh,
Oh, wow, Dominic got a big hit there, didn't he?
I had that happen to me in one race 2 times. That exact. Yeah,
Yeah, just lifting.
yeah, but the inside lane was free, so there's no reason for it. I'm just sour because it happened to me twice in one race. 2 different people. I honestly didn't come onto the radio and say things. Something along the line of, I'm going to AC Evo.
See you guys.
Yeah, see you guys. David out.
This pack has grown a little bit. We've got Van Spiker at the front of it in 16th place. And then we've got Euler. He's had a couple of issues.
That was brave.
Ari,
Nicely done.
Tabone,
I think-
Maya, and now Sebastian with Shelavish.
It is such a shame to see. We're seeing Daniel just drop with that damage. He is now 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th in Pro-Am, which is... I mean, he was P2, took the lead on pace, and then been involved in 2 incidents.
So Shelavish, I believe, had to take a drive-through. I don't think he stopped.
What have you put the limit at?
20. But I'm seeing his pit count at 3, but his pit stop time was like 15, and he couldn't have been stopped for 15 seconds. So, yeah, he got to the instant limit and had to serve a drive-through, and of course that makes sense because he picked it up a 4X.
Yeah, poor Daniel's got no acceleration by the looks of it. Let's see. Teammate behind, so he can make this work. Great drive from Manuel here. Very stellar.
This is close. 3 wide almost.
Wait, Manuel's AM, right? There's only 1 Pro-Am ahead of him.
Yeah.
Dude's getting a DM from Sam after the race.
Didn't want to say it, but might see some more green on that car next week.
Yeah, you're too fast, dude. Yeah, way too fast. He is in the draft of Tokyo.
Yeah. Well, he was battling with Tokyo a moment ago.
Oh, we've got another person in. I assume another drive-through unless there's damage.
Yeah, it's Mount Track. No, he's stationary. He is stationary on track.
Yeah.
Or not on track, so but in the pistol. 5 seconds. Maybe he underfueled, or he had to take a faster pair.
Well, if it takes you 5 seconds to take a fast pair, you've done it wrong.
So 6 minutes to go. And these guys leading by 6.4 seconds. Delman's actually sort of maintained the gap since the pit stop, but all by himself. Masetzi getting ahead of Yatortsis, or is he? Yatortsis seemed quite slow there. I don't know if he picked up a slowdown or something, but gave up that position very willingly. And Koroshavan surviving. I don't know how Koroshavan is still going, honestly. He absolutely slapped the wall.
Yeah.
But his pace is still good. You can see the slight damage on the front right, but it's not significant aesthetically or physically.
Skaggle's looking good. Tortoise running strong. Up 1, but obviously Marco Massetti ahead of him.
Yeah.
Up 12.
Yeah.
Obviously just
we're not familiar with.
Bluey's qualifying. Plain as day. Katie and chat point that Russ Fowler up 15. Yeah, that's impressive.
That mantle, the top mantle for positions gained though goes to Robin Meyer, up 28. He's going to finish 4th out of the Pro-Ams. Here's Meyer.
Yep.
And he might gain onto Bone and Van Spiker. Shout out to Van Spiker, who didn't have the best qualifying in the world. And I don't think he's been lightning quick, honestly, as Van Spiker, but I haven't seen him put a foot wrong all day or lose a battle or lose time batsing another driver. He's been relentless and representing Mercedes well, up in 16th place.
Yep, running very strong. These cold ice tires have been strong drivers. I wonder if it was a former team renamed, because they've got a lot of drivers and some solid drivers. Then again, we've seen teams form from other sims, haven't we, recently? It's been a trend, like a bunch of ACC drivers or GT7, F1. You saw that last league, right? The F1 Liga boys.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely loads of them.
F1 Online Liga.
And they were fast.
Felipe Massa.
Yep. Correct.
Or Philip Massa. So. Just 3.5 minutes now. So I think the leaders are going to have 2 more laps to go. So these guys have got 3 more laps to go. And you have to hope that they've got enough fuel. We know that Stefano Chenna came into the pits quite early, and I hope he gets to the end of the race. He has not made a 3rd pit stop yet, but he might be one on the fringes of being able to make it the whole 43 laps, which is going to be demanded of the drivers today. Of course, the next round of the championship will just be 60 minutes and just a single pit stop, so it will be a little bit of a change of tune. This is the only 75-minute race this season. It's because of Daytona 24 in a couple of days' time.
Do we have any heats?
So later on in the season, I think round 3 at Road Atlanta, we've got reverse grid. So we've got 30-minute race 1 and a 25-minute race 1, so 30-minute race 2 with a reverse grid.
And obviously the reverse grid will be thunderstorming, whereas the first race will be dry, just to test the drivers.
Oh, yeah.
Who doesn't want a reverse grid in heavy rain?
For sure, yeah.
So good luck to the drivers. Man, reverse grid. It's frightening. I love it though.
Yeah.
But it's just that overwhelming feeling that, you know, the pole guy's usually nervous and 10th is usually ready to make some moves in 1. So you know it's always tricky.
Yeah. Well, I think whenever I see reverse grids, because I think for this season we'll probably have reverse grids over at about 10 drivers, as Euler is going up against Chialfi.
If he can get the draft off the Mackie, he'll get this done. Oh yeah, the Porsche has damage.
Got damage, yeah. No, that's Sebastian.
No, Sebastian's blue. That's Euler.
It's Euler.
With the rejoin.
I don't know what I was talking about before, but yeah, Petrosan ahead of Euler. Will Euler lose any more paces? No, he should stay ahead of Sebastian. He's got 8 seconds, but he is losing about 3 seconds a lap, maybe even 4 seconds a lap compared to what he was doing earlier on. These guys got 2 more laps to go.
Wait, has Euler not been into the pits for major damages?
No.
So he could turn left. Okay, I reverse it. It was a terrible rejoin. Pure terrible. If he's still out there driving, he can definitely turn left.
You can lose more than 3 seconds lap if you can't turn left.
Correct. Look at these boys cooking. Yeah. If they're in blue Mercedes right now, it would look like Apex.
So what are these guys going to do? Do you think they're going to fight it?
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I feel like the bond would be made like you literally settle it. Okay, whoever gets pole.
Well, whoever got pole was Andre Viella.
Do you know what I mean? Because I'm the one telling you when to go green. I gave you, because he was 3rd, right?
4th.
4th. Like, I gifted you positions.
Yeah. Well, he let him pass as well on lap 1.
Well, could have been a mistake, but yeah, I agree.
It
could have been a mistake, and they might then just say, okay, look, you made count the mistakes off. It depends how they've decided to settle this.
He's dropped a little bit far back. He was lifting a lot heading into turn 1, was Viella, so he's left himself with some catching up still. I'm not sure if he will catch up from here, honestly. Got a plane in the background. You can just see the fin or the wing.
But yeah, let's see. My hunch is it'd be settled on qualifying position, but
it'd have to be choreographed if it's going to change from here, because he's not catching up to this gap unless Lacine. I don't know. Maybe he is catching. Did not think the draft would be strong enough for him to make up the half second, but he's made up about half of it already.
Here he goes. Go, son.
Oh, making sure not to pick up the 1X. So,
Will
the
he go
run to
high?
the line, and we're going to soon find out who is going to win the first round of Season 9 of Apex Racing League GT3 Trophy. Lacine leading almost the entire race. Viella, the man who took pole position. And they're both lifting. Neither of them wants to win.
Wait, what?
And Lacine will win, and it wasn't a fight after all. Lacine wins, Viella P2, and that's the perfect start for Valkyrie competition season. Massetzi, who lost the position to Courchevan earlier on in the lap, he's going to overtake. Courchevan might be out of fuel because he is limping to the line. He's got a big gap back to De Ruyter, so he will be all right. But just under fueling at the last was the Ukrainian, otherwise he would have finished one place higher.
Oh, they're avoiding the low line because I think there's a car in it.
There is. Vist manages to win out of the Pro-Ams.
Very impressive.
Senna did run out of fuel. He was the one who pitted earliest. And he just about had enough, but I think was a lap down. And that's how he managed to get to the end. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to see the last lap. This one is going to be close on the run to the line. These guys were battling earlier on. Petrosan versus Cialfi. Cialfi decides to go as low as possible, but Petrosan so goes as low as possible. Cialfi will not get him. 200ths the gap between the pair.
Fun fact, it's the middle of the car that determines who wins, not the front, by the way.
Oh,
iRacing,
okay,
the
sure.
detectors are in the middle, because I've seen a lot of Daytona photos where the wrong person gets it. Well, you know, what it looks like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the middle of the car. Oh!
Not quite. That was a big overspeed for Setinov, but he didn't quite get Herkenrath. I know that Rennsport have the same thing because we lost...
no, that wasn't. That was just the finish line.
Oh, the finish line
drawn
was
line
in the wrong place, yeah.
different.
Okay, sure, yeah.
I love that Rennsport knew that, though. They're just confident. Yeah. That is how it is.
Yeah. You guys, what? You were aiming for that line? What are you talking about? So, yeah, really good race there from everyone involved. And, well, we'll be able to see the results right away. And I won't go through all of them, but Lazine won out ahead of Viella. Tillman will be happy with third. He'll be thinking that he can challenge those guys in future rounds,
up 3 positions. He didn't have a teammate to work with. I think he did very well.
Vist in 9th place, winning out of the Pro-Ams. Pindel and Schutler doing incredibly well as amateur drivers for Cold Ice Esports Yellow and Red. And yeah, rounding out the podium in the AMS was Britones. A few of the AMS had issues in the end. Russ Fowler, I know, fell back, and a few others as well had problems through the race. But I hope that we get some interviews with drivers. I didn't actually notify them about the interviews, and that
Sam's fault.
cost us on Tuesday when no one came for a chat. But we have got a driver who wants to have a chat with us, and it is Lucas Tellman, who joins us now. Lucas, congratulations out there. It is a podium. I was saying before, just a moment ago, how obviously yourself probably aiming for race wins, but considering how Valkyrie had teammates to work with and they could slipstream each other and work the strategy, you must be quite pleased just yeah, taking that 3rd place.
Yeah, I'm happy with the top 3. I mean, yeah, I did the race alone, all the race long. So yeah, I mean, the pace alone was good, but yeah, it was difficult even when the car was a lap down as spin in front of me. It even make the race more difficult, but yeah, not too bad. I mean, yeah, we had the pace, so yeah.
Absolutely. And when it came to the strategy as well, out there, of course, an odd race, the first time we've done one of these 2 pit stop races, was the strat all the way going to be fill the tank to the full at the first pit stop and then take a shorter pit stop, or were you considering any other strategy options on that?
I don't think we had any other option, because if I under fuel at the first stop, they just came out behind me, but they had the slipstream the whole race long, so I didn't. So no, I just can't do anything else, I think.
And we can see behind you got a lot of your trophies that you've won. Do any of those trophies stand out? Are there any of those that you're particularly proud of? And are they all sim racing trophies, or are some of them from IRL as well?
No, I race in a real car. So yeah, they are both from there. But I hope to get the IRL Championship trophy winning at the end of the season.
Nice.
Definitely. Well, thanks for having a chat with us. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, thank you to the team. They were behind me the whole race long. I mean, yeah, thank you to the team, even for the setup. Thank you to Thomas for the strategy. We did. I think we did the best we can this race, and yeah, let's hope for better in the future.
Definitely. Well, yeah, best of luck for next time out, Lucas, and we'll see you in a week's time.
Yeah, thank you guys, and thank you to the viewers for watching us doing what we just like doing. So yeah, see you.
GG's, man.
Lucas Tellman, their third place finisher tonight.
Yeah, solid race. I mean, yeah, he was difficult to work with that. They were quick out front. They had the Ford, nice straight line speed, and they're working together so well. They choreographed the start. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else he could have done. He had no fuel saving opportunities. I think he maximised the result and racked up some good points, and you move on.
Yes, yeah, really strong there. Both of us thought that he would have a very good chance at winning the title. I think tonight's performance very much reiterated that one. No other drivers have come for a chat with us, so yeah, I'll nag them to come and have a chat with us next time out. But if anyone is watching back the stream of the drivers, do join the ARTV Discord, sit in the interview waiting area after the race is complete, and you can have a chat with us whether you finish first or last. It's really good to get some extra perspectives on everyone's race out on track. But looking ahead to the next round of the championship, we're heading to Suzuka next time out.
59 cars, 60 cars. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, you can tell that I made the calendar.
Yes.
It's really good, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, pit stops is tricky here. It's that bumpy surface. T1's going to be demanding with that many cars. You've got to have eyes. You've got to be focusing ahead, not just on your optimal cornering speed. Once you get through lap 1, it's tricky to pass. I mean,
yeah.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a very tough race, especially with that many cars. You're going to have to manage traffic. You can't, when you pit is as much as important as how much fuel you take. It's going to be interesting. It's 60 cars at Spa. It's going to be one to watch.
It will be very good. Well, that will be with us in 2 weeks' time. So there's plenty more coming up on Apex Racing TV over the coming days. Of course, we've got the Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup currently in progress, which always has really good racing. We had like 60 car field on Tuesday at Road Atlanta, so watch back the replay of that. It did get a bit chaotic at times, but we have also got the DRSCCA Holiday Sim Series in the Formula 4 cars. That's coming up in a couple of days' time. We've also got Radical Esports Cup. That's coming up tomorrow. And we've got Rick Motec Mini Mite Sports Car Challenge as well, coming up on Monday night for Americans. So do tune in for all of those. And of course, the best way to do that is by subscribing to Apex Racing TV and hitting that notifications button as well. But for now, from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, and from David Sampson, and from everyone here at the Apex Racing TV Esports Studio, we are going to say goodbye for now, and we'll see you back for round 2 of the season.
Ciao, ciao.